Hi guys, it's me, Susan. It's day 110 of the Broken Hip Club, and I have some exciting news for you today. First, let me show you Jolie. I'm sitting here with her because she's recovering from, we both had our teeth cleaned today, but hers is a little bigger of a deal. They put them under general anesthesia. So here she is right down here. I don't know if you can see her that well. She's sleeping. There she is. Anyway, so that's why I'm here with her. She's on the bed. We're both on the bed. Um, anyway, uh, I I had been wondering, and some of you had been asking me, what do you do next? We had the Cancer Club, and that has resolved um, to my great happiness and gratitude. We have the Broken Hip Club, which now, aside from, I do have one more ortho doctor appointment coming up, but my pain is minimal. My limp is going to be something I work with. In fact, my dental hygienist today, she said, my legs differ by an inch just because that's the way I am, and I've just learned how to deal with it. It's not a big deal, and I don't think it's going to be a big deal either. So I have to admit that in the beginning, or when I made the transition from the Cancer Club to the Broken Hip Club, I was wondering, they say it runs in threes. What's going to be? Is there going to be a third thing that happens to me? And if so, what is it? What's it going to be? Of course, we don't know. But now it's really kind of happened, or something has happened that has given me a very exciting, clear vision of where I want to go next. And without being overly dramatic, this title has meaning, and I'll explain it to you as I go along, but it's really not as bad as it sounds. But I'm starting today, I am shifting to the Broken Heart Club, and I'm not at this moment feeling brokenhearted, but I have in my life, and I have in the past week, I will say. And without going into a great deal of detail that involves someone else's privacy, which I won't do, the guy that I have been dating, some of you, a couple of you know him, and so that's another reason I'm not going to go into it. But this journey is really about me and my experiences and what I'm learning, and the universal things that I'm learning. Anyway, I have referred to him as Tigid for short, the guy I'm dating, has moved to another land. He has moved far away, and I was not really aware that those were his plans. And as you can imagine, I was quite surprised and shocked, and was really tempting to go. I mean, I was kind of heartbroken, really, because what had been almost a weekly event of getting together and seeing him is now an unknown event. Um, so that really set off an extremely interesting process for me of working with those feelings, um, continuing to talk with him, continuing to explore uh, what my feelings were all about, how much they really included me having a vision or a blueprint even about where I wanted this relationship to go, and the heartbreak in some ways being all of a sudden realizing it's not going there. And I hadn't even realized sort of how I kept saying, oh, I just want to have this experience. I don't have any expectations. I've had to reset my expectations several times, but this was the big reset of the mother of all resets. And I do want to, and will plan to share some of my personal experiences of what I went through in dealing with that, but it also has led me to really explore and think about what it means, all the different ways that our hearts can feel broken, and all of the different ways that we try to either avoid it by being cautious or limiting our risk, or we try to cope with it when it happens. And for many of us, we can really feel, I know people who feel like they've never recovered. And there are many different kinds of heartbreak as well. So what would be fun is for you to give some thought to your own personal experiences of heartbreak. And like I said, they're not confined to romantic relationships by any means, but we use that term often. But it's heartbreaking. They talk about if a team loses a very important game, that it was a heartbreak. You talk about the heartbreak of losing someone that you care about to especially to a sudden death, accidental or otherwise. There are so many ways that we as humans suffer heartbreak because we have hearts, and we can't do anything about that except put walls around them and decide we're never going to risk it, and and then when it happens, think about how dreadful it is and how it shouldn't have happened, rather than accepting it as it's I wouldn't even call it a price. I would just call it part of being alive and living and loving and risking and learning and all kinds of stuff that really I'm looking forward to sharing this with you. It really fits in with some of the Brene Brown concepts that I was talking about with you last time, that when heartbreak turns into a feeling of what's wrong with me, or did I deserve this, or why is the universe against me? I've known many people who felt that way, and I have felt that way myself. And thank goodness the work that I've been doing on myself really spared me from going. I could easily have gone into a very black hole when this shock occurred to me, and I didn't. I mean, I felt terrible, and I felt sad, and I felt a lot of things, but I didn't turn on myself, or I didn't feel like, why me, or poor me, or what's the matter with me. And I'm thrilled to death about that. I think the reading that I'm doing in her book, I'm going to get her other book on shame. This is Brene Brown I'm talking about. And some other interesting work I'm contemplating doing on understanding commitments and how people create their attachments to each other and what those things are based on, expectations, and how we can really not realize what our expectations actually are until they are not met or until we lose something. In fact, I tell people all the time, you can't really learn how to love. You can't really love until your heart's been broken. And I never really have given that as much thought as I have recently. And I think there's a whole juicy bunch of stuff that we can talk about and work on there, having to do with what we think life is supposed to be about, what we think is supposed to happen if you're a good person, and how we don't really have a way of coping with pain and loss, even though it's as much a part of life as love and joy. And so I'm really thrilled about making this shift over to the Broken Heart Club. I hope you will all join me and continue to join me and think about it yourself. And please, call me or email me with your own ideas about it, and I will share them or share some of them in the future episodes. My email is hullsusan, HULLSUSAN, at sbcglobal.net. I'm serious. Let me know about your own experiences of heartbreak. It just feels like an area I want to dive into in a I don't know, juicy is the only word I can think of. There's just so much stuff there that I want to explore. And I will be seeing Tigid again. We've already made plans to get together, but it's kind of already, it's on a totally different basis since this shift in my expectations. It's just really going to be interesting, and I'm not expecting anything anymore. I'm really open now to a lot of new things that I haven't paid attention to before. I'm putting time into other areas of my life that I've neglected. It's just an incredible, like one of those curveballs life throws at you, that if you let it knock you down and then you just get up and see what happens, and all kinds of interesting stuff is happening. So I hope you'll join me in the future. I will be back for sure with lots of good stuff to share with you, and I hope you'll share some stuff with me. Okay, in the meantime, be sure to live well, laugh often, and love much, no matter what results from that, okay? And I'll see you soon on the next episode of the Broken Heart Club. Bye.